Hello, I'm Mr. Smith. Today's learning will focus on carbon footprint and ecological footprint. The term carbon comes from the French charbon, from Latin charbonium, a coal, glowing coal, charcoal. Let's get started with carbon footprint. A carbon footprint is a measure of the amount of greenhouse gases released as a result of our activities. The figure is expressed as kilograms or tons of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, which means that it traps the sun's heat at the surface of the Earth. Greenhouse gases cause global warming. The more CO2 an individual generates, the bigger the impact on the environment. Using energy from fossil fuels adds to our carbon footprint. Heating our homes with gas, oil, or coal emits CO2 and makes our carbon footprint bigger. Even if using electricity does not directly give off CO2, the power station that generates it does. The waste we generate also produces CO2 and another gas called methane when it goes into landfill. Below is a list of activities that each have a carbon footprint of 1 kilogram of CO2. Driving 4 miles in a car, travelling 7 miles on a bus or train, flying 1.4 miles on a plane, leaving your computer switched on for a day, manufacturing 2 plastic bottles, producing 100 grams of beef. Cows produce large amounts of methane in their guts. Across the world, the average annual carbon footprint per person is 4 tonnes. In the UK, the average annual carbon footprint is 10 tonnes per person. Some carbon-based fuels are carbon neutral. This means that they do not contribute to the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. Wood is an example of a carbon-neutral fuel. When wood grows, the tree absorbs the CO2 from the atmosphere and locks the carbon into the wood. When the wood is burned, the same amount of CO2 is released, resulting in no overall CO2 change to the atmosphere. Biofuels are close to being carbon neutral, although fossil fuels may still be used in their production. For example, power farm machinery. Energy sourced from renewable sources generate no carbon at all. Next, ecological footprint. Ecological footprint, a measure of the impact that human activity has on the environment. Ecological deficit, a measure to indicate that more natural resources are being used than nature can replace. A person's ecological footprint is the area of the earth that they need to produce the resources and absorb the waste to sustain their lifestyle. It gives us a measure of the impact human activity has on the environment. Our ecological footprint weighs up how quickly we consume resources and generate waste against how quickly nature can absorb our waste and generate new resources. Resources include food, plants, livestock, fish and drinking water, building materials, timbers, mined materials, fuels, fossil fuels, energy farms, other consumables, clothes, paper, etc. Waste is mainly carbon emissions. What is land used for? Infrastructure. Land needs for buildings, houses and industry. Transportation, roads and railways, reservoirs for hydropower and energy plants. Forestry. Land needs to supply timber for products. Furniture and construction. Wood, fuel, pulp, paper also needed to absorb CO2 from fossil fuels. Water. Fishing grounds for food commodities from oceans and rivers. Water vital to sustain all life. needed in industry and agriculture. Cropland, land required to grow the food we eat, fruit, grain and vegetables, fibre for textiles such as cotton and linen, animal feed, biofuel. Grazing land, needed to raise livestock for meat and dairy and leather products. Disposal, land needed to dispose of all the waste we generate. Fossil fuels, production, transportation, heating and cooling. Knowledge check. Please try and answer the questions below. What is carbon footprint a measure of? How is the carbon footprint figure expressed? What is carbon dioxide? What do greenhouse gases do that is bad for the earth? What do greenhouse gases cause? What happens when we use energy from fossil fuels? What does carbon neutral mean? Is wood an example of a carbon neutral fuel? Why is wood carbon neutral fuel? What does ecological footprint mean? What does ecological footprint give us a measure of? What type of resources are included in our ecological footprint? Pause the video and have a go at answering the questions now. You can find more helpful information on Mr. K. Smith on YouTube. Please subscribe, like and leave a comment. The information for this video was taken from the WJEC in Educus 1-9 Design and Technology textbook. Thank you. Bye-bye.